In 2011, my 14-year-old ass went to our local anime convention Otakuthon, alone, vulnerable, stinky, where I got overwhelmed at the dealer's den, tripped on a merchant's table, and felt so bad I just bought a copy of Devil Summoner RAIDOU Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army because it was the nearest thing to my hand while I helped fix the guy's table. Since then, I played the game once to completion and another time about halfway through because I was fiending for a Persona 5 that I thought would stay in Mommy Atlus's womb forever. But I'm not interested in talking about the original because, quite frankly, 99% of the people even interested in this are going to be newer fans looking to get into RAIDOU, and for everyone else, you either already own the remaster, played the originals, or own a crusty-ass copy that's been sitting on your shelf, and you started avoiding it because it started speaking in tongues at you. This new version of RAIDOU blurs the line between remaster and remake more than anything I've seen in years, and if I may be so bold, I'd say it's a more than worthy replacement over the original for most. Looks like my opinion started January 6th for gamers. I won't do an all-encompassing recap of the story because it's a very fun, campy sci-fi mystery, and I don't want to pull a Toru Adachi on your ass by spoiling all the twists. You're just gonna have to trust me that every single one of the 12 chapters in this game are great at arousing your sense of curiosity. Your name is Shardo Pupanoha, a young devil summoner who has just overcome the trials of the Kuzunoha village's nameless shrine to become the 14th to claim the RAIDOU Kuzunoha name. As the bearer of the name, you are assigned the task of protecting the capital from supernatural fuckshittery like Big Crab and Ballsack. But after the disappearance of the renowned Daidoji family's heir under strange circumstances and the appearance of real-life goddamn motherfucking Gregory Rasputin, things are starting to get interesting in alternate history Japan. The cast is likable enough, although it is hard to complain when you've got a merry crew of, The introduction of voice acting to the remaster does some crazy heavy lifting to bring out the character's charm. More than once, I re-listened to voice lines because the direction is seriously punching above its AA weight.
You think I am stupid? That's right! Good guess! I'm the wall maker! I only know about walls! I'm stupid! I love walls!
Ah, that's great, man. And it's all helped by a new script that pushes the noir aesthetics with little flourishes here and there. Like how Narumi calls Tae dollface, or how Goto sometimes calls RAIDOU a useless hippie beatnik. It's pure schlock. Beautiful, insane schlock. It has to be played to be believed, and the play is pretty good. I doubt I'll blow your mind with this one, but this is a modernized version of a PS2 call classic, and it feels like it. This isn't a slide on the game, though I have been praising the rise in a lot of smaller projects like these from big studios for years, and this is exactly what I want to see more of. You spend your days at the Narumi Detective Agency, taking in cases that require you to use your devil summoning powers to eavesdrop, read minds, or just fucking immolate people into giving you the skinny on just what the hell is going on. The investigation system is pretty shallow, honestly, and it's mostly there to get you from plot point to plot point, but it's not the crux of the game, so we can let it slide. Soon enough, you're dragged into the Dark Realm, where you have to use your combat and light puzzle-solving skills to get through these kinda dungeony sections. It's where most of the meat of the game is. As opposed to the random encounters of the original, you pick fights with demons visible in the overworld, and fights take place in a separate instance where you slice, shoot, and summon your army of twisted fucking psychopaths. Now, you won't be doing any crazy combo routes or mechanically intensive combat. It's just not that type of game. Much like other Shin Megami Tensei games, you use skills to exploit your enemies' weaknesses to eventually stun them so that you can capitalize by going batshit with strong attacks, or by using the new Spirit Slash ability that dumps huge amounts of damage into one blow. But unlike those other SMT games, you do all of these on the fly. This is an action RPG through and through, and this remaster does everything in its power to keep you away from menuing mid-combat, and that's the big plus this version has over the original. With the new mag drain system, you won't need to pause mid-combat to chug mag potions. You can just use light attacks, defeat enemies, or do perfect dodges into Devil's Bane to restore your mag and keep your momentum going in battle. And the push and pull of the combat is just really addictive. Through its runtime, RAIDOU never asked the player for anything other than basic positioning, keeping up with levels, Demon Fusion, and Sword Alchemy, but it doesn't need to do anything more because the whole of its mechanics carry the experience and it's just really fucking fun. Speaking of Demon Fusion and Sword Alchemy, enter the Gomaden. Pretty often in your adventure, you'll have to pay Frankenstein's metrosexual here a visit to fuse demons you capture in battles into stronger, more powerful ones. If you played any SMT game in the last decade, you already know what to expect, minus a few minor deviations from game to game, but it's still a big improvement from the PS2 original. You know how it is with these remakes, some moves got buffed, some moves got nerfed, but it's all love, baby. What is an interesting addition is the sword alchemy system. Now, Sun Tzu once wrote in The Art of War, "Similes are like metaphors for bitches." But that won't stop me from pointing out that the weapon upgrade tree is like Monster Hunters, all the way down to having to defeat specific enemies for materials. You know, minus the farting. Every sword, spear, and hammer you craft through the system gives you new moves, different stats, new combat skills, as well as passives. All of this culminates in your Raidou feeling much more like your own as opposed to the original game. And even if it's just little changes, it does add up. I'd like to take a second to talk about something we need to praise games more for: having excellent pacing, both in their gameplay and story. I'm not talking about a game's length either, it's more about the developers knowing exactly what the game is about and keeping you engaged in all of its elements, even its menuing. Every chapter is around 2 to 3 hours, you start with a mystery, investigate, go to a dungeon, solve the mystery, and get a clearer picture of the wider story. That is such a simple, elegant structure. I can run through a few chapters in one go without ever feeling fatigued. It's got the concept of flow locked in. With all this glowing praise, you'd think it would be an easy recommendation on my end, but I'm extremely biased. I got a copy of this game for free from ATLUS. I was already very fond of the original to begin with, and I'm a huge ATLUS mark. I've been buying the playthrough ruining digital deluxe versions of their games for years, which, by the way, maybe stop giving out the DLC that gets you overpowered immediately in these bundles. That shit fucking sucks. How I see it, a 7 out of 10 is just a very specific person's 10 out of 10, and if that sounds like you, you're gonna love it. Otherwise, I don't know, wait for a sale, try it out, and you'll know immediately if it's not for you. I give this game a pass on the Bechdel test. Hey, thanks so much for watching. This is kind of a little experiment I wanted to do because I haven't done one of these scripted videos in years, and I just wanted to see if I could still do it. And baby, I think I did a pretty good job. I want to thank ATLUS for sending me a review copy of the game, as well as K-Bash, Brendan Hesse, and Bad Lad Mike. You know Mike from the podcast, for helping me learn about active and passive voice, because I've never been a middle schooler in an English-speaking country, I guess. Or, well, I mean, Canada. Oh god, I'm so... And a huge thank you to the channel's top supporters, such as Alan Diver, Boopoo Brain Soup, Brass, Cassandra Crash, Chipples, Chips, Chris Chapman, DX Studios, Edward McMillan, Eric Scott Gillies, Ethereal, Geef, Generic Phoenix, Guidrion, Guy Beam, Heretic Shark, Invictus Echo, Lambda Man, Leo the Geotech, Lucavia, Mr. Shirt, Mr. Starchy, Philosophicool, Presta Husk, Rat Supreme, Spherical May, Sponge Guy, Synthetic Pacifist, The Frost Ace, Tritty Bird, Toucan Farbin, Ulbert, Will9455, and Woodstock. Also, real quick, before we leave, Preda actually never had a dick in the original Raidou games. He always had like a blurred shadow. So that one tweet was actually a falsehood.